இன்றைக்கி வந்து ஸ்கை மாங்க்னு சொல்லி ஒரு புக்கு நான் எழுதி ரிலீஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. இதுக்கு மேடம் வித்யா, கஜபதி, ராஜு சிங், இஸ் எக்ஸலன்சி ப்ரொஃபஸர் ஜே ரங்கநாதன் சார் வந்து இதை ரிலீஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோம், அறிமுகப்படுத்தியிருக்கோம். புக்கில் வந்து நாங்கள் இன்றைக்கி 7ஆம் தேதி ஜனவரி 7ஆம் தேதி. ஸோ எப்போவுமே நியூ இயர் ரெசல்யூஷன் வச்சு எதாவது வந்து மாறணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கோம். ஆனால் அந்த மாற்றம் எவ்வளோ கஷ்டம்னு சொல்லி எல்லாருக்கும் புரியுது. ஸோ நாங்கள் நியூ இயர் ரெசல்யூஷன் 1ஆம் தேதி வச்சா 10ஆம் தேதிக்குள்ளே அது அப்படியே மாறிடும். ஸோ அதை எப்படி நாங்கள் அதை சஸ்டெயின் பண்ணுறது, இன்னொன்று இன்றைக்கி இருக்கிற ஸ்ட்ரெஸ், சஃபரிங், பெயின் அதை எப்படி ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணுறது, ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வந்து இந்த புக்கில் எழுதியிருக்கோம். இது ஐ எம் ஷரத் சிங், ஐ எம் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் ஆத்தர். அண்ட் இந்த புக்கில் வந்து தேர் ஆர் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் தீம்ஸ் அண்ட் it talks about stress, suffering and pain and little bit of spirituality also. And எல்லா ரிலீஜியன் வந்து இதை பற்றி நாங்கள் எக்ஸ்டென்சிவாக ரிசர்ச் பண்ணி த மெயின் தீம் ஆஃப் த புக், இதோட புக்கோட மெயின் தீம் வந்து கைடிங் இண்டிவிஜுவல்ஸ் டு பி பெட்டர் ஹியூமன் பீயிங். ஸோ இதில் தேர் லாட் ஆஃப் சேஞ்சஸ் இன் மீ, தேர் ஆர் லாட் ஆஃப் சேஞ்சஸ் இன் மீ. ஸோ அதனால் அதை தீமாக வச்சுட்டு we have come up with this book saying, okay, whatever is there, the changes which have been good, I want to tell this to the world. And so today we have released the book and it's available in all the online platform like Amazon, Flipkart and other social media platforms, online platforms. So you can buy the book and give us your review. The main theme of the book அதுதான் மாற்றம் எப்படி மாறுறது, அது கம்ப்ளீட் டீட்டெயில் இருக்குது. எப்படி ஹேபிட்ஸ் ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுறது, நல்ல ஹேபிட்ஸ் எப்படி ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுறது, அது எப்படி சஸ்டெயின் பண்ணுறது த்ரூ அவுட்னு சொல்லி அது ஒரு தீம் இருக்குது. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் வாட் ஸ்கை மாங்க்.
சார் 2 மினிட்ஸில்
ஸோ எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். இந்த ஸ்கை மாங்க் புத்தகம் வந்து ஒரு நல்ல புத்தகம். இதை வந்து R.R.Sharath சிங் எழுதியிருக்காரு. இந்த புத்தகம் வந்து வாட் இஸ் ஃப்யூச்சர், வாட் இஸ் டெஸ்டினி, வாட் இஸ் விஷன், எப்படி வந்து சொசைட்டி கொண்டு போகிறது, எப்படி ஹியூமன் பீயிங்ஸ் வந்து கேன் பி அ பார்ட் ஆஃப் த சொசைட்டி, ஹவு தே கேன் தட் பி அன் எக்ஸாம்பிள். இதை பற்றி தான் நிறைய சாப்டர்ஸில் அவர் நிறைய அழகாக பேசியிருக்காரு. இதை படிக்கிறதால வந்து யூ லேர்ன் அ லாட். இட் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் லைக் a book which can give நிறைய ஐடியாஸ் கொடுக்கும். நிறைய பேர் இதை படிக்கணும். புத்தகம் படிக்கிறது வந்து இட்ஸ் குட், நல்லது வந்து எல்லாம் புத்தகம் படிக்கிறது. இந்த புக், இந்த ஸ்கை மாங்க் புத்தகம் ஒரு நல்ல புத்தகம். இதை படிக்கிறதால வந்து நிறைய விஷயம் நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். அண்ட் தட் இஸ் வாட் திஸ் புக் இஸ் ஆல் அபவுட். அண்ட் ப்ளீஸ் ரீட் திஸ் புக் அண்ட் சப்போர்ட் மிஸ்டர் ஷரத் சிங் so that he will write more books in the future. We want more authors. That reading is easy but writing is so difficult. And he has written a book, so நம்மலாம் support பண்ணணும். Let him write a lot so that society will benefit and the world will benefit a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would really like to congratulate Sri Sharath Singh for this wonderful book that he has written. And I think it looks like a small book, but there's so much in it for all of us to read and imbibe. And a book that we can keep by our side always, because there's always something that you pick up and learn from the book. And I'd really like to congratulate him. It's written with so much clarity and so much simplicity that he makes everything sound so simple that we can easily absorb and learn from this. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you all for taking time to be here and gracing this occasion with your presence. It truly means the world to me. I am deeply grateful to each one of you for making this event a successful one. The first chapter of my book is titled Why This Book, spans 20 pages and explores the transformation and changes I have experienced personally over the years, changes that has been truly wonderful. I am talking about the good changes, alright? 5 years ago, I was a different person, but through this journey, I have grown and evolved in ways I never imagined. These positive changes have not only shaped me, who I am today, but also inspired me to compile my thoughts and experiences into this book called Sky Monk. Interestingly, no one seems to want the old Sharath back. My wife doesn't want the old husband, my employee doesn't want my old boss, even the client doesn't want the old Sharath. So they all appreciate the person I've become, and that's a powerful affirmation that this transformation was meaningful, impactful, and worth sharing. Hence, this book was born. That brings me to one of my favorite subjects. I love this subject called change. Whenever there's a word called change, I get very excited. And more specifically, why people find it so hard to change. Now, if you can just focus on this talk, I will give you a secret sauce of change. Alright? Why people don't change and what is change. And I'll come to that in detail. So why is sustaining change is so difficult? Change is something we all aspire to, especially at the start of the new year. We all want to change. And here we are on 7th day of 2025. And many of us have set New Year resolution to evolve as a better self, better human being. But let's be honest, how many of these resolutions are still intact? For many, they start to fade by 5th, 7th, 10th day or 15th day or end of this month. So why is sustaining change so difficult? Why is it sustaining change so difficult? Is it because we underestimate the effort we take, or because old habits are deeply ingrained and pull us back? If you step into any bookstore, you will find rows and rows of books which promise everything. The books are, filled with a lot of information which promise you to make. They claim to make you rich, slim, graceful, happy, productive. They promise everything under the sun. And today we are adding one more book to those shelves. The bookshelves are packed with books which promise you to make you slim, rich, stress-free and everything. So, but here is the question. Despite these books being bestseller, despite people buying them in droves, why aren't our lives changing as promised? Are these books misleading us? Are these false? The answer is no. Many of these books are filled with actionable insights, though sometimes slightly exaggerated for impact. The real issue lies with us, not the books. We buy them with good intention, yet they often end up being in the shelf, gathering dust. Instead of self-help, it is shelf-help. So, to tackle this question beautifully, American social psychologist Jonathan Haidt compared this body and mind to an elephant and a mammoth. He tackled this question beautifully for elephant and mammoth. See, the mammoth represents the intellect, which consumes all the knowledge, whatever the book represents, and intellect, this body. The mammoth representing our intellect knows where it wants to go and tries to guide the elephant, saying turn left, turn right, go here, go there. So this is what the intellect is trying to do. But here is the catch. If the elephant representing the body is untrained or simply unwilling to follow the path, it's going to do what it wants to do. Maybe it wants to detour for some bananas. The mammoth, despite all its knowledge and intention, cannot overpower strongly willed elephant. Alright? This analogy perfectly explains why change is so hard. You might read a book on fitness, feel inspired and set up alarm at 6 a.m. determined to start a new routine. But when the alarm rings, there's a battle in a mind. The intellect tells the mammoth, the intellect tells the body, saying, it's time to go for a walk. But the body, the elephant, pushes back. I didn't sign up for this. You want to walk? Be my guest. I'm staying in the bed and need to read about the importance of 8 hours sleep. This is what the communication between the body and the mind. So how do you ensure that the elephant, the body and mind cooperate with your plan? It is not bombarding it with more books, talks or videos. Instead, the elephant responds to systematic, well thought out training and repetition. You have to train both the body and mind. Others have done it and so can you. But here is the catch. It takes time, effort and consistent work. It's not glamorous, it's hard work, but the results, they are nothing short of miraculous. The problem is we often expect instant result. It's like walking 1,000 steps and immediately checking your weight on the weighing scale. When the weight hasn't changed, you think maybe if I take off my shorts, I will make a difference, but that's just not being realistic. True change requires patience. You need to give it time and keep at it with unwavering effort. That, my friend, is the secret sauce of change. So this is what I do on the podium is entirely different with what I do with the audience. This is my strength. Alright? So what I'm entirely trying to say here is, you consume a book, the intellect consumes the book, alright? And this body does not respond. Once you wake up in the morning, the body has to go for a walk, right? If you set up a target, the body has to go for a walk. The body says, I'm tired. Intellect, you read the book, you go for a walk. The mammoth is the intellect and the elephant is this body. How do you make this elephant move? Is with systematic training and repetition. In the school there is always repetition, that is to train this body and mind to walk towards this path. This is what, basically I am an experiential trainer. I am not a good speaker on the podium like professor or madam. I like to go with my audience, gel with them, and I conduct my sessions this way. So that is not my strength though. Alright? So let's do a small session. People generally have plans to, take a small nap at around 4:30. Yeah? Not today. So just bring your left hand. Let's do a simple exercise. Okay? Let's bring the left hand in front. Sir, if I may request you, keep your right hand on top. Very simple activity. This nursery kid kind of an activity. So when I say go, you need to clap. Very simple. 1, 2, 3, go. You need to clap. Not now. Okay? When I say that. Okay? 1, 2, 3, go. I said it twice. When I said go, you need to clap. But what happened here? Some people already knew because they are attending my session for the second time. They are very clever. The people who clapped, yeah, that's how it is. So what did happen? Were you not paying attention? You were paying attention. Was the game extremely challenging? No, it was not. But here, your eyes are fitted with 150 million photoreceptor, which converts light into electric signal. That means what you see is 100 times more powerful than what you hear. And what you do is 100 times more powerful than what you see. So this is what we do in experiential learning. So now, since I've done that, my colleague will pass a chocolate to everyone. Don't eat it just yet, I'll tell you when to eat. So please pass on the chocolates. Yeah, just take one and listen to my cue, alright? This chapter is written in page number 21. People who are only reading books, they won't get to experience this activity. You are the lucky ones, so you get to experience the activity firsthand. Alright? When I was young, even now, I love sweets and chocolates. Alright? I love sweets and chocolates, okay? And whenever I asked for a sweet and chocolate, my parents always used to give me a task, go fill water, take this chocolate, It was a big exercise, filling buckets of water from a long distance. Once I've done that, they used to give me a chocolate, which was very painful because of the size. Alright? So small chocolate and such big work I had done, such great work I had done, and small chocolate, very painful. And then, the moment I started opening the wrapper, there was a voice from behind, share it with your siblings. Even more painful, I had to make 3 pieces. Now the chocolate is so small, now it's time to enjoy the chocolate, alright? And I consume this chocolate, and with the chocolate, you all can have. Yes. You all can have. Amma, sugar irukku, saapdalam, prachana illa. Sugar in the door, veliya da irukku, ulla illa. So you can still have the chocolate. You all can have the chocolate, alright? Now I come to the actual point. And here, when you all had chocolate in your hand, you don't feel the pleasure. Now some people, it is settled inside, you don't feel the pleasure. You only feel the pleasure when the chocolate touches your tongue. There is a flash of pleasure. We all are running behind that. Buddha, I consider him as mind specialist. He puts it really in a beautiful way, and he talks about one sloka which says, Anityam anityam sarvam anityam. Anityam anityam sarvam anityam. Chanikam chanikam sarvam chanikam. Shunyam shunyam sarvam shunyam. Dukkam dukkam sarvam dukkam. That means everything is impermanent, momentary, void and painful. Dukkam. So when I worked for the chocolate, painful. When I got the chocolate, painful. When chocolate is gone forever, more painful. You know, this is what it is. Then it is all suffering is what Buddha says. And who does not want suffering in this world? Anybody? Lift your hand. Yeah, everybody are lifting hand. No chance, not in this universe. You are in the wrong universe. Alright? So in this universe, there is suffering. Our entire book will teach you how to reduce the suffering. But completely, so that will minimize suffering, minimize stress, minimize pain. The book is aimed at that. So that is how it is. So if you don't want suffering, you are in the wrong place. So there is suffering. We need to find ways to minimize it. As simple as that. So Buddha was a specialist in, he was big on dukkha, suffering. So that was his main topic. And with that, I think I overshot what was the time given to me to speak. I think I have taken a little more than that. I would hand over the stage to the MC Hindu, so she can take over. Thank you so much. And if you want to know about Anandam, there are three kinds of Anandam. I spoke about suffering. What about Anandam? So where is the bliss? Where is the peace and happiness you are talking about? Where is the peace and happiness you are talking about? If you ask me, then there are three kind of Anandam: Vishayanandam, Bhajananandam, Brahmanandam. So you want to know more about that? No chance. You need to read the book. So it's not. It's like opening a soda bottle before this thing. So you have to open the book. I have given extensive detail for long-lasting peace and happiness. So that you can read more about in the book. So over to you. Sorry.
And our wonderful author, Sky Monk. And you wonder why Sky Monk? And I loved the story. I read the book through, and it was just fascinating. And I think this is a book which could be used as a handbook. I would keep it on my bedside table, and whenever I have a little time, I would open any page and read it, and you'll get something to learn from this book. It was a wonderful, wonderful read. And I congratulate you for having put this book together, and I love the idea of a monk sitting next to you on flight. I wish that would happen to me someday so I can learn something more. But the concept was brilliant, and the kind of, like Professor said, the kind of information and learning you get from every chapter, every page, there's something to learn from this book. And it was, is it your first book? And I really congratulate you. I think he has a lot more to tell us and give us. We're looking forward to the next few books. I think you've got a lot that you will be able to teach to people who read your book. And while I was reading, like Professor said, this is a book which is a guide for people to become better human beings. Now, isn't this what all of us want to be? Better human beings than what we are now. In any small way, it will improve our lives and improve the lives of people around us. So that itself is the first concept of the whole book, how to be a better human being. And another thing he talks about is destiny, which is a product of our choices. We talk about, oh, that is destiny, but most often destiny is a product of our choices. Whether we consciously make a decision or subconsciously, unconsciously choose to do something, all this becomes our destiny. You can look back at any of our lives, even my own life. I can see from, we don't talk about when we are children, but from the age of about 18 or 20, every decision we've made from then to now makes us what we are, or brings us to this point in our lives. And he speaks a lot about, of course, Bhagavad Gita and a lot of other texts and religious texts that come from different religions. But one of the things he discusses is that the Gita teaches a detachment, and detachment from any action that you perform. So anything that you do has to be done for the reason of doing it, not for a purpose. And it gives you a sense of surrender to the divine, because whatever you do, the blessings come from above. So I think that's another very, very important point that I was able to take out of the book that was written. Then, of course, the four fundamental concepts of our Hinduism: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Now, this is very much an intrinsic part of our Hindu philosophy, and it is dealt so beautifully with, so simple, so easily understandable, so we don't have to think that this is some high level notion that we are not able to absorb. And I think this is, again, he has written it so simplified it for us to be able to understand this. And these four Purusharthas are what create a life for us that can be fulfilling and balanced. These are the two things that can give us that complete life. That's how life is complete. And as I'm a disciple of Swami Paramatmananda since the last 20 odd years, and every year for New Year's Day we go to a lecture that he gives, which is the message for the year. And this time, one of the key things that he spoke about in his lecture was that all human beings desire the same three things. Wherever in the world we are all the same human beings. But what do we all desire? Peace, security, and happiness. It is so simple. That's all we need to make our lives happy. And that's all that we need to try and bring into our lives. So, and also my personal journey through my life, thanks to imbibing from my great father, was a life of discipline, fitness, and mindful living. And along with mindful living comes mindful eating. So this is something that for me, fortunately, has been part of my life. I'm turning 72 this year. And for that, I feel from the time I was 5 years old, this is the kind of life I have led. One of great discipline. And of course, I'm not saying that I don't have the lighter side of my life. I'm not always focused on things. But while having fun, the basic underlying sense of a disciplined life is what we need to bring into our lives. Also, one thing to keep in mind is if your body is healthy and strong, your mind will be healthy and strong. So you will be able to deal with the vagaries of life, with your workspace, with anything. That healthy mind will give you the strength to be able to deal with that in your lives. And I think each of us in our lives, we have to deal with ups and downs. There's no getting away from that. Nobody's life is just blissful throughout. But to reach that blissful level, we have to keep the core and the base of incredible discipline. It sounds hard, but it's not if you slowly bring that discipline into your life. And I have to really congratulate Sharath Singh for this wonderful book, because it is truly a handbook and something that all of us, as we read it, you're going to absorb and want to go back to it over and over again. I'd like to congratulate you for having brought out this wonderful book and looking forward to the next couple of books that you're going to be authoring very soon. Thank you.
And we were also expecting a little bit of fitness tips from you. Thank you so much. Now the panel is open for discussion and to discuss the theme of the book. Yes.
Yes.
If you have any questions, you can put it through.
Yeah, there.
Hello everyone, how are you? And truly looking forward to reading the book. And one question I have, sir, is that no matter how much we try, it's very difficult to get rid of our materialistic desires. So is there any way, or because I'm yet to read the book, but is there any particular mantra you can give us that, because no matter how much we try, that desires are always bringing us back. So anything you can suggest for that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, madam gave a nice insight to that, saying detachment. See, when Krishna was talking to Arjuna, and Arjuna said, this mind is so difficult to control. It is easy to control the air. How can you control the mind? Krishna says, asamshaya mahabaho manu durnirgam chalam abhyasenu tu kaunteya vairagya nachagrihita. That means, see, Krishna said, no, it is easy to control mind. He didn't say, of course it is difficult to control the mind. See, all detachment, attachment, everything is part of mind, right? If you may agree with me. So, how do you control the mind? With two things. One is detachment and second one is abhyasa. You're as good as you practice it. You need to let go, detach. Easy said than done, but if you do it will solve all your issues. So, yeah, you need to train your mind to detach from materialistic world. That's what I was talking about. Three anandas. Vishyananda is material, this thing. Bhajanananda, and then Brahmananda. So these three Ananda. Brahmananda is total bliss and blissfulness.
I hope we are able to reach that. Let's see. Thank you so
Sure,
much.
yeah. But if you practice it, it's brilliant thing. You will just be above everything. So you can easily navigate your life and get rid of all this. The readers, I'm targeting any human being who wishes to evolve himself or looking for a change and who is looking to transform himself. Anybody. Like there are two people I would like to say. One is if you're sitting here like Duryodhana or if you're sitting here like Arjuna. See, it is like, a lot of people say in the Mahabharata so many people died, correct? So a lot of people say, why didn't Krishna go and tell Duryodhana to change? Crores of people died, it could have been avoided, right? So Krishna went and tried that. He went and told Duryodhana that whatever you are doing is wrong and this is the right path, this is adharma, this is dharma. He says very clearly, Duryodhana said, I know everything. I also went to the same university where Arjuna went. I also went to the same university where Arjuna went, so I know everything. He said, Janami dharmam nachane nivritti, janami dharmam nachane pravritti. Kenapi devena hridayasitina, veto niyosatmi tato karami. That means, I know what is right, I know what is dharma. I am not inclined towards that. I know what I am doing is right. I am unable to come out of that. If you are sitting here like Duryodhana, then no change will happen. If you embrace life and ask questions and transform yourself like Arjuna, a lot of changes. I am targeting Arjunas of today's youth who are young, dynamic and looking to transform themselves. This book is aimed at that.
Students, they can take anything from these books.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is, I call it a handbook of mind management. If you can manage mind and master over it, everything becomes easy. In today's world, the students are stressed with so much happening online, offline, how many likes, how many shares, who is liking, who is sharing, that is, immaterial. So they should focus on the subject, and there is so much of anxiety and stress in today's younger generation, which is highly spoken about in this book, and this will reduce their anxiety and give them a clarity about what they want to do, and it will reduce the stress and suffering for sure. This is aimed at that, and I hope it solves the purpose. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good evening everyone. Sir, life is a race and everybody are running towards that. And in your life, I just wanted to know, when you got the moment, you just wanted to give back to the society. So like that you are doing so many things. So maybe you might have given so much of information in that book. So I just wanted to know which moment really transformed you to give back to the society.
A very difficult question. I always say this in my activities, saying, if you have seen Virat Kohli's video, there's one moment he says, I went and stood in the mirror after a loss in IPL and I was out of Indian cricket team. I went and stood in the mirror. I didn't like the person who was looking back. He was, who was looking back? Kohli himself. When he stand on the mirror, it was a reflection. So he didn't like that moment he transformed. We are talking about the body, mind, elephant mouth. Every cell of his body changed. And second transformation I talk about is Mahatma Gandhi. When he was thrown out of the train, he fell as Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi and he rose as Mahatma Gandhi. So that one moment, entire cell of your body changes. Fortunately or unfortunately, it was not one moment for me, there were multiple things. I was trying to look at, earlier I was running an event profession like how she described. Whenever there was business, I used to get stressed. Oh, so much of business, how do I manage? Whenever there is no business, I used to get stressed saying there is no business. So where is the end for this? So then slowly I started searching, what is the right path and right way to handle oneself, how to master your mind. And Gita, Bible and Quran, all these have shaped me together. So I will give the credit to them only, all credit to them, nothing for me. I am just a small soul, very little knowledge. I call myself LLL, lifelong learner. I keep learning every day, and whatever little I could teach, I am doing that. And to answer to the other question, giving back to the society, it is very clearly written in Gita saying,
he who takes everything from the nature and gives nothing back is considered a thief. And he who takes all the knowledge and gives nothing back is not less than that also. So my way of giving back is this, and I met a marketing guy before the launch and he said, we'll create a controversy, we'll sell a lot of books. I said, that's not my aim. I just want to sell one book to madam and that's my job is done. See, I just want to give back and this is not my profession or, God willing, I may choose this as future profession, but that is not my way of doing things. I want to give it back in an honest, pure form. It is up to people who accept it, embrace it, and that's about it. So it is all about giving back at the right moment with right will. If I have answered your question. Thank you. So, apoppo konjam clap panna. See, I will have time to take a breath. See, whenever we write a script saying, okay, here audience will clap and you can take a deep breath and come back. See, audience is just still. We don't have time to, take quick breath and think about what is the next topic. So, apoppo konjam unga vittu pulla nenchi konjam kai tatti irtharu. Please, requesting, yeah. Thank you. We had time for this. So. I had time for more claps. Maybe later. Thank you. Just kidding. Because I want to make it very light. That's my way of talk. Professor is such an expert. Just give a book, he will glance it and he will just talk on the podium. And man as well. I am not. I find it very difficult. Ask my wife. I was rehearsing those pages and said, this is not my style. It's very candid. I just go to the audience and just speak from my heart and, that is my style. And Bible says, blessed are those who are pure at heart and they shall see God. This is what Bible says. So I truly believe in that. Purification of heart. I do an entire session about purification of heart. Mind mastering, all this is my strength and this is what I learned from the masters and like to teach it to the audience through my sessions. So, sorry? Yeah, my guru is Swami Sarvapriyananda. I have not met him, only in YouTube. Thanks to the technology, only through YouTube. I just grasped whatever he says. And then I said, Bible, Bhagavad Gita and little bit of Quran. Quran says believers are brothers. So if you all believe on single theme, we all are brothers. So that's a brilliant takeaway I would like to take. And I always pick a guru who respects all religions. So that is first criteria to pick up a guru. So if he respects all religion, he is my guru. So if someone does not do that, I am not too inclined because that is how I like it. So that is why I choose Swami Sarvapriyananda.
Congratulations on the launch.
Yes, thank you.
The moment I saw the invite for the event, I was taken back to the book Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
Okay.
So I was thinking about, okay, this could be on that lines, or maybe on that lines. But I think it is not truly on those lines because you have, I think, quoted or based your book on the principles of Bhagavad Gita, our Itihasas and Puranas, and of course the scriptures from other religions as well. I want to ask you a question from the perspective of today's youth, youngsters. So it's today not very fashionable to learn the Itihasas and Puranas. And people, when you're very small children, parents send children to shloka classes, Bhagavad Gita classes, where a few verses are just, they learned it by heart and it's just a rote learning. And finally, there's really no takeaway with that. Do you think that a parallel education in terms of understanding the moral values or understanding our Itihasas, Puranas, be it of any scripture, and not restricting it to Hinduism, but any other scripture, do you think that it is equally important as that of the formal education or mainstream education to build an all-round unity? Or it should be like people say, oh, you're so young, you shouldn't be reading all this. You have time after retirement, after 60, you can, maybe pursue these things. This is the time for you to work hard, make money, grow in your career. So what do you think about this?
Excellent. You have 3-4 questions lined up. Good questions. Thank you so much for asking that. Yeah, I am a big fan of Robin Sharma, Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Look at my hairstyle. Just kidding though. Alright. Yeah, we are proud of our itihasas, Puranas. You know, that is one thing, one trick which has changed me completely. The transformation comes from there. And, you know, real mind management is in Gita or Bible or Quran. You know, those scriptures has got mind management. See, you can't say that, you know, after 75 I'll get into spiritual. I have very clearly written that. 0 to 25 is one age where it's called sannyasatva, and 25 to 50 is grihastha, and 50 to 75 is called vanaprastha, and 75 to 100 is sannyasatva. Generally, what you are referring to is 75 to 100, people go to these, you know, be spiritual. No, don't postpone spirituality to 75 to 100. You need it right now, which is, you know, the most crucial part is 25 to 50 when you have your family, when you have, you know, work, you have to balance so many things. You need to manage and master this mind. That comes from this spiritual text. And you need to have a right master. You just have to spend 15-20 minutes. You don't have to, you know, spend 8 hours, 10, just 15-20 minutes. What I do and what has changed me, I'll give you a tip, just because you asked this question. Early morning, I read Gita. I read Gita, I mean, through, you know, audio. And I go for a long walks, 30 minutes for the mind and body. That will rejuvenate, recharge you, and keep you at the right spirit so that you can follow the rest of the day. Now comes a kicker here, you know. The morning you read Gita for 30 minutes, then you can do whatever hell you want. No, you can't do that. You need to practice that. It is like, you know, I want to lose weight and I'm eating 1 carrot every day in the morning, and then the cheeseburgers and, you know, the brownies, the shakes and all that, that's not going to help. So you need to continue that theme. That will come, you know, once you get hold of it, whether any scriptures, you 15-20 minutes in the morning, so that will give you complete, you know, follow through for the rest of the day. It will follow through, and you need to have that control over oneself. If I have answered your question.
I'm also a great fan of Swami Sarvapalli.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, I'm up to date. I listen to all his YouTube.
Oh, okay. A great man and very simplified teaching. I'm a big fan, and whatever I learned, all credit to him. I am just a small sevak, and all credit to the master. So we share same master. So wonderful to know that. Oh, thank you so much again for remembering that, you know, giving me time to take a breath. And please direct your questions to Vidya ma'am, especially, you know, I'm such a big fan of her. I went and met her on Saturday morning. She had finished 60 kilometers cycling, and this is what I want to be health-wise when I'm 75, 80. She's my inspiration. So big round of applause to Madam Vidya. So, everybody, yes. So looking at this, so this will disappear. So we have an inspiration.
It was actually 61 kilometers.
61. Yeah.
I have to correct the young lady because it was the summit that I climbed was 20,400 feet.
20,400 feet. Amazing.
20,400
feet.
Bangkok County in Ladakh. Wow. So
Amazing, ma'am. What a feat to achieve.
it was on my 71st birthday.
Oh. No. Any more questions? Or?
There is something about materialistic life. The author has described something about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. By reading about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, you know that you understand very better. He lived a very simple life. You know, there are many examples in this Dharma Bhumi. You know, many examples. I'm giving a very recent example of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. There are many examples in this country. By reading, you understand the philosophies, you know, the ideology, you know, whatnot, right? By reading that, you know, you understand more. By understanding, the more the input, the better the output is. You know, materialism will go off, right, when you gain more knowledge. Exercise your mind. When your knowledge is abundant, when you gain more knowledge, knowledge becomes power. When knowledge becomes power, obviously you will leave, you know, the materialistic life. You take from Swami Vivekananda to, you know, the recent or the latest, you know, religious leaders in this country, where they are known for, you know, that how to live a simple life.
And I feel like exercise is a daily thing. This also
our daily lives and forget about it. But if we continue
Yeah,
to practice probably on a daily basis, then only we can expect some change.
Should be a learning man, not a learned man.
Yes.
Everyone should read
Absolutely.
every day.
That's a
Learning
brilliant
man.
concept.
Read a lot. You take Gautama Buddha, who is the light of Asia. Jesus Christ, the light of the world. And today, Buddha's teachings are, that properly, that practiced in entire Southeast Asia. From Myanmar to Philippines, you see, the Buddhism, the prevalence of Buddhism, the teachings of Buddhism, and you see how, that Buddhism can teach, peace and harmony, which is very, very important. Today, peace is shattered into pieces. And by reading so much of literatures, reading books, listening to people, that you understand life better. That there are three kinds of people: wills, owns, cons. Wills, they accomplish everything. Owns, they challenge everything. Cons, they fail in everything. So you should be always wills, accomplish everything. In the present world, one has to read. By reading, that you can overcome so many obstacles. As Samsara was asking, what is the book can give it to the young people? Young youth are not useless; they are useless. By giving such books, many such books in this country, that one understands life better. Youth are not useless; they are useless.
I think as mothers, we need to inculcate that habit of teaching to our children, because coming up with the social media and everything, slowly it is kind of dying down. But keeping that on a daily basis is very, very important.
Very, very important.
Because when we were young, it was, there was no other means, or what should I say, activity. So we used to be reading, whether it was when you were a child, we used to read like a naughty book or something like that. But books were a part of our life.
Yes.
But nowadays, with the kids growing up, I have seen that slowly they are weaning away from books, going more towards the tablets and the social media, etc. So I think this kind of books is something which we should incorporate from an earlier age.
True.
So, I have a teenage daughter, so probably I would, present her this book, and she can maybe get something out of it, maybe not the entire gist. So that is something which I think is something which we should inculcate in our kids as well.
Yeah, mother makes a society.
Absolutely.
Every mother is very important.
Yes.
And if you educate a man, you educate an individual. If you educate a woman, you educate a whole family. So if a woman is educated, obviously the family will be taken care of. So thank you so much.